Very good evening, everyone. Welcome to another special disruptive education live session with Global Education and Training Institute. Today, I'm your host, and we have another session with Mrs. Harleen Chadda on the topic life. जीवन क्या है, क्या एस्पेक्ट्स हैं उसके, हमारा क्या पर्पस है हमारे जीवन में, इन सारी चीज़ों पे आज हम बात करेंगे. About Harleen Ji, she dons many hats. She is a certified image consultant, an NLP practitioner. She is a teacher and a mentor. So please join your hands together to welcome Mrs. Harleen Chadda. Very welcome, ma'am, and very good evening.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having me.
So, ma'am, क्या है जीवन exactly? What is life?
Okay, so biology life. So there's I don't know why
I'm sorry.
there's a lot. There's echo, my own voice. Okay. Sudhir, are you there by any chance? I can see it streaming live, but I cannot see anything else apart from that. So I'm not certain whether it's live or there's a technical glitch.
Hello, am I audible to you, ma'am? Yes, people can listen to you, people can see you. I believe that my question was audible to you that time, that what life exactly is and what is the purpose of it, right? So let's start with that. Sure. This time, I think we have lost your voice.
Okay.
It's audible now.
Okay. So life is all about, it's a mixture of extremes. It is about two complementing opposites. It is about birth and death, laughter and sorrow, love and hatred, fear and courage, real and imaginary. It is all about those two extremes, the complementing opposites. So life is all made up of ups and downs. It is about success and setbacks, procrastination to perfection, self limitation to self beliefs. It is all about that particular journey. It is about experiences in all in all, experiences put together. That is what life is made up of. I'm still not certain, Sudhir, whether you're there or you're not there.
I'm totally here, ma'am. Actually, I have just muted myself so that the echo problem would not be there. And it comes along with me. Hi,
Sudhir,
ma'am.
this is
Sorry.
Oh, madam.
This is what, ma'am?
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, please.
I think, ma'am, you should continue with your talk. And the moment I am coming on this stream, it is echoing. So it's better that you should continue with the talk. I'm so sorry for that.
No worries. Should I take it as the way, whatever I understand of life, I take it from there? Because I can't see any question.
Yes, definitely. And I will put across the comments which we will be getting from the audience side.
Wonderful. So I take it as that you are there, but you are muted yourself. And all the viewers who are there, a very good evening to each one of you. Have a wonderful, wonderful life ahead. That's the whole idea of this particular conversation today. Okay. So I would say, deliberate introspection of a long drawn journey that I have had on this planet. I have reached a conclusion that no matter how we are placed in life, no matter what capacity, what designation we are all in, each one of us is entitled to a celebrated life. That is what I firmly believe in. So everything in the world, whatever is happening, that's not your responsibility. And it is not your job per se, to detox the toxic people around. Yes, it is definitely your responsibility to detox that part of your life which resonates with the toxicity. As far as you and I are concerned, we've been gifted this life. We are grateful for this life, and we all need to lead a celebrated life. And believe you me, we are all entitled to the celebrated life. So, this, when I say celebrated life, and when I reinforce this word, I have made an acronym for the word celebrated. So, C for me, when I talk about it, talks about a contented life. E means an effective life. L is a learned life or a lifelong learner, whatever you call it. Again, E means an empathetic life. B means here a balanced life. R is a rational life. A, abundant. T, thankfulness. E, energetic. And D, divine. So, this is the acronym that I have made for myself as a part of a celebrated life. So, I shall be talking to you briefly about, what all these things do denote to me and how is it that I feel that life needs to be celebrated. So, the very first alphabet of the word celebrate is contented life. I think if we can all realize that, that life that we are all living on this planet, it is a gift and it is not a right. Believe you me, it is a privilege to live, to laugh, to sing, to communicate, to be one with each other, to enjoy the beautiful bounties of nature. It is definitely a privilege. And life for us is a gift. So when I say contented life, I mean, a satisfied heart. It is like a calm sea in the midst of the tempest. So no matter whatever, if we have the wealth of contentment, if we have the acceptance of whatever is happening in our life, believe you me, each one of us will be much more happier, much more peaceful, and much more at harmony with ourselves. That is what contented life for me is. So a seed of contentment, it is something that produces a harvest of fulfilling life, So for that effect, I will just narrate a short story. So this is a story about a fisherman who every day goes and catches some fish. So when he's coming back one day, he encounters somebody who asks him a question. He says, how much time do you spend fishing? He says, not enough. So this man, he reinforces that he should apparently spend a little more time there. So another question that he poses, he says, what do you do with the extra time that you have? So this fisherman, in all earnestly, he describes and he tells him that he spends his time with his little children at home, spends time with his parents, looks after his wife, does a little farming, whatever. And in the evening, he leads a very relaxed evening with his friends, with family and friends. So to this gentleman, he tells him, he says, why not do a little extra and catch a fish? He says, okay, fine, I agree. So let me hear your part of the story, why I should be catching an extra fish. He says, if you have a little more extra fish, apparently, what you can do is you can go sell that fish. And with that, you get some extra money. With that extra money, you buy a boat for yourself. And similarly, with that extra money and that extra fish and that extra boat which you have, you can carry a lot more fishes. Finally, sell it in the market and earn a little more money. So he says, okay, fine, I got your point. What do I do with that little extra money? He says, you can set up a business empire. You can directly give food to the processing units. You can do whatever you desire and live in a massive mansion. So the fisherman, he was hearing all this. He says, okay, what do I do once I live in that huge, massive mansion? He says you can lead a life, a good life, your children will get some quality time. And then when it is time for you to retire, then you can apparently, live in a nice little cottage somewhere near the hills, somewhere near the seaside. So the fisherman was hearing all this and he asked him a question. He says, how much time do you think for me it'll be required for me to establish a business empire of my own? He says, maybe a decade and a half. He says, and after all this, what do I do? He says, after all this, you lead a life of your wish, the way you desire it. So the fisherman very promptly answered. He says, I'm doing all that right now. Now is the time when I'm spending time the way I want to spend. I'm very happy with my wife. I'm very happy with my children. I give time to my parents. I spend my quality time singing songs, spending time with my friends, listening to them, hearing my story, sharing my stories, hearing to their part of the conversation. So the whole thing about contented life is that now is the moment. Whatever we have it today. You and I, we do not come with a pre-written expiry date. Now is the moment. I have no idea what life in store for me tomorrow. And similarly for each one of us sitting here. We have just no idea what life has to unfold. So I am not saying that, that your today has to be free of your tomorrow and it has to be absolutely separate from your yesterday. It is neither possible nor it is prudent. But at the same time, the only thing that I want to bring across is that whatever you do, this is the moment. We should stop lamenting about what is beyond our control. The experience should always be there. The experience should fade away, but it should strengthen our soul. So contented life for me it basically means live fully, love unconditionally, and at the same time, give undauntedly. This is for me what contented life means. Now coming on to the next alphabet of the contented life, this is celebrated. The next alphabet is E. For that, what I understand from E is leading an effective life. I have just no idea whether I have people there, I don't have people there. But then if you're all listening to me, I hope I'm making some sense to you. So effective life is what I want to tell each one of you is, please don't let people's perceptions and opinions, they drown the voice of your conscience. Trust your intuition. That is a very precious element of your existence. Give whatever you're doing, give it your 100%, put your heart and soul into it and lead a very effective life. So lead a smart life. The word smart has an acronym which is very widely accepted and people know it. So the acronym of the word SMART is S for specific, M for measurable, A for attainable, R for realistic, and T for timely. And similarly, what works for others doesn't work for everybody else. So I have my own acronym for the word SMART as well. So for me, when I talk about the word SMART, S for me means simplifying things. There's no point having a very, very complicated life. Don't have more than you can chew. So whatever you have, if you are not able to do certain tasks, please defer and delegate. Get out of that superhuman syndrome. It really doesn't matter. You don't need any validation. You're good the way you are. M for me means multitasking is an absolute no. So if you want to attain heights, if you want to invest into something, please do it wholeheartedly. Live in that particular moment. Don't multitask. The moment you start multitasking, the quality deteriorates. So if you want the best, please don't multitask. A for me is adhering to a structure. There's so much of time which keeps getting wasted, when we are looking for something or we've misplaced something. Utilize that time to put the things in place. Make a to-do list. It does wonders. The 5 minutes spent there, it does you good. So all that you need to do is, you just need to look after your seconds. Minutes and hours will take care of themselves. The next word is R, reserve your energy. Not everything requires your attention. You have to wisely choose your battles. You have to have an energy reserve. So, if you have a dissipated energy, if you are drained and exhausted, you cannot achieve anything. The armies do not win battles when they're drained and exhausted. They have to have the energy reserve in place. And last but not the least, time management. Very, very important. One should absolutely ensure, procrastination, it helps you waste more time than that periodic illness. So think about that time. Utilize it well and utilize it the way you want. If you have ample of time, apparently you can spend some time talking to your friends, you can spend some time doing whatever you wanted to pursue so long. There's never enough for that, what you want to do. So this was about the SMART goals that I talk about to make the life more effective. So the next alphabet in the celebrated life is a word learned and or for that matter, a learner for life. So why do I use this word learned? Mahatma Gandhi in his autobiography, the story of my experiments with truth, he said, and I quote, he says, I must reduce myself to zero. Just imagine at such an accomplished life, many points in his life, he did want to return to a beginner's mindset. So there is never enough for somebody who's seeking knowledge. The most challenging thing in life is to learn, unlearn, and relearn. There's so much that we can do it. So that is all. It's a voluntary and a deliberate act. So we need to do a learning for both, for anything, for any purpose in life. Your personal and your professional purpose, both they need learning. So I am not saying that, I can differentiate one from the other. There are times when your personal growth can lead to your employment opportunities, and vice versa, your professional accomplishments can give you personal enhancement. So both the things, they go hand in hand. But learning, it is a continuous process. It's a continuous learning that keeps happening. The more active we are, the continuously that we are learning, it will automatically delay and halt certain things like dementia. And learning has its own rewards. It's a very rewarding life if you all just continue learning whatever we have to learn. There is enough and more. So the next alphabet in the word celebrated that I want to talk about is again E, and that is having an empathetic life. What is empathy, when it is? So empathy for me is discerning what is not defined. It is hearing what is not said. It is seeing what is not visible. And at the same time, it is experiencing what is not evident. So the societal conditions, more than any other time, today needs empathy. Our society, all said and done, no matter how educated we are, it is very less conducive to empathy. So the 3 C's, which are very important to lead an empathetic life, for those 3 C's are connection, communication, and compassion. If you have these 3 C's, believe you me, you can be a very empathetic person. I think all of us, we have the skill in us. It's just that we need to bring it to the surface. That's about all. So we are in a world which has the empathy crisis, and we need to lead the world to an empathy advantage and an empathy revolution. That is what it is. So this cognitive and the emotional center of the brain, it genuinely requires that the empathy muscle is developed and developed well. So we need to be very proactive in it. We need to practice it till the time it comes naturally as an instinct to us, and it becomes a part of our nature and character, so that it's as natural to us, and we don't take it as a duty any longer. It is natural to us as our own character. So this is what empathy means for me, giving that listening ear. So the next alphabet that I want to talk about is B. So leading a balanced life. So balanced life means having a harmony in all spheres of a life. So it is emotional, spiritual, physical, personal, professional, all spheres of a life. We need to have harmony and balances that. So keeping the wheels of leisure and commitment inflated at the same level is what the balancing act is all about. So the small little investment in terms of a health, in terms of upskilling, in terms of a professional growth, in terms of, I would say, walking that tight rope, it'll help us reap phenomenal dividends. So balance is the name of the game, and balance is synonymous with making choices and at the same time enjoying those choices that you have made. So apart from balance, now the next alphabet is R, and R for me means rational. So what is it that I mean about rational? It is like contemplating a bigger picture, and it is not about acting impulsively on anything. So it is like leading a more humane life. That is for me. So when we need to weigh the pros and cons, we need to reasonably, analyze all the options that are available to us. We need to take decisions that hold us in good stead. That is rational thinking for me. So rational thinking in philosophy, it entails assessing situations, detailing and defining concepts, and then reaching a very vague conclusion or a choice which helps us, which holds us in a good stead. That is for me what rational thinking would mean. Now, coming on to the next alphabet, the next alphabet for me is abundance. And what is abundance? I mean, all of us have a definition of abundance. So, whoever has gratitude, I have been brought up in that missionary school, and I have grown up listening to this. The fathers and the sisters used to always say that whoever has gratitude, that individual will be given more, and he or she who does not have gratitude, whatever that individual has will be taken away, will shall be taken away. So that abundance, it comes from the gratitude that you have. So the law of vibration, it says, I'll just say that one should not get trapped in the duality. It's not that you just say for the heck of it that you have abundant and you're showing gratitude. It is you need to feel. So abundance comes when you have that, as in our religion, it says, Shukrane di dat, Shukrane di rat, that basically means the blessings of gratitude, the blessings that you all feel that we have enough and more. And now's the time that we can share it with others. That is abundance. That is abundance for me. So abundance, if you expect miracles, miracles will happen. So the only thing is that we need to acknowledge that, we possess these blessings and we pave a way for abundance. That's a law of vibrations. So what you seek is seeking you. And if you have enough and more of abundance, we need to be thankful about it. So thankful and abundance, I would say, are the two sides of the same coin. None can exist before the other. So we need to be extremely, extremely grateful. That attitude of gratitude has to be there. We need to be thankful for everything, that the word has bestowed on us. So the entire universe is conspiring to give us everything that we desire and deserve. So there's enough and more for everyone's need, but not for people's greed. So what goes around comes around. So if you want abundance, please unconditionally give all the love, compassion, care, whatever you can give. If you can give, believe you me, it'll come many folds to you. It'll come many folds to you. So this is what I was talking about, abundance and thankfulness. So next is the alphabet E. And E for me means an energetic life. So energetic life, when I talk about energy, it means, for the self-mastery, we need to know the ability to be able to control our energy levels. If we can control our energy levels, we can master so many things. The energy levels come from the emotional state that we are in. So energy equals vibrations. And vibration, it is just a reflection of our thoughts. It is the feelings, the emotions that we have in us, the words that we use. Everything here determines the energy level. That affirmation that you give yourself, the thoughts that you have, everything here in the universe, it's purely a vibrational energy. And that is what determines our energy levels. So that is what everything has a vibrational frequency. If we want our energy levels to be higher, we have to be very mindful of what goes inside us. That is the only way that we can keep the energy levels high. And last but not the least is the word divine for me. So again, I can reflect on that morning prayer which we used to do at school. So it says, all things bright and beautiful, all creatures, great and small, all things wise and wonderful, the good Lord made it all. So everything that we have in today's world, everything is a creation of God. This entity, the supernatural entity called God, has gifted us with these bounties. So, in spite of the fact that today we are all living in that, we are those fact driven people, and we have opinions about everything, and before judging and before reaching any conclusion, we need an evidence. That's right. I completely agree, and we dismiss things, that do not uh, reach the pedestal that we wanted to reach. So for all that, leaving all that aside, if you believe, we are a beautiful creation of God, and this is all about divine. So anything that you're looking for, the solace, the harmony, the peace, spirituality, meditation, everything is the power of this supernatural divine. He's made us so perfect, He's made us so well, that it is innumerable blessings that we have, and our life is a divine life. So, God definitely had a purpose when He created us. I hope we are able to fulfill that divine purpose of His. When we have our goals in place, let's keep the purpose of the supernatural in mind. That is all I want to say when I want to talk about celebrated life. Now, I can't see any questions here. Just in case, Sudhir, if you're there and if you've seen any questions, please let me know if there's anything else that I need to answer. I've already spoken about what celebrated life means to me. I still can't make out, but I'm sure if it is going live, because that is what it is showing on the screen. So sooner than later, it'll reach each one of you. So just before I wind up, I will very quite quickly, just tell you a few tips about how you can enhance your energy levels. And there are a couple of ways. There's not one way that works for each one of us. Everybody has a different way. The energy levels is something that you can always enhance whenever you want, but you need a deliberate and a conscious effort. So each sound, each thing, each thought, everything has its own vibrational frequency. So whatever you have in the word, if you can just control your emotions, believe you me, most of the things can be taken care of. So how can you upskill or how can you enhance your energy level? There are a couple of ways. One, definitely, the first one is breathe deeply. So when I say breathe deeply, when you are able to breathe deeply, it relaxes your mind and it helps the prana to come in. And that vitalizes an individual. Second, in the same context, is meditation. When I talk about meditation, it helps you remove all those helps you remove all those flooding thoughts, and it prevents you those flooding thoughts which prevent you from experiencing the clarity. So whenever you meditate, it will help you reach the desired results the way you want. It will clear your mind of all that is embedded in your heart and soul. Of course, if you spend time in nature, nature is the biggest healer, believe you me. If you spend time in nature, so nature is a natural mood enhancer. It'll take away all your troubles. Simple little things like maybe, walking bare feet in the grass, touching the bark of the tree, sitting in the balcony and just reading a book, gazing the stars, anything that gives you comfort. Nature itself is a brilliant natural healer. It boosts your energy. It helps you, channelize your mood. At the same time, that secretion of serotonin, it'll help you elevate your mood and, of course, elevate your depression as well. Then I think another thing that can help you enhance your energy levels is your creativity. So one needs to be, creativity is one gift that all of us have it. There's nobody on this planet who does not have creativity. Even when you see those vegetable vendors, selling vegetables, or those fruit sellers selling fruits, the way they, I think, put it up beautifully and brilliantly, it's such a treat to the eyes. So that garnishing that they do, the cutting of fruits, just to, I would say, attract their customers, that is a brilliant creativity. So each one of us, we have creativity inside us. And the only thing that we need to do is we need to unleash that potential of ours. then it is like tap into your emotions. Please be very mindful of whatever emotions you want to feed. So if you want emotions which are good emotions, energetic emotions, very, very, they are very, very close to the way, your mood oscillates between the two emotions. So be very mindful of what you do. Of course, listening to music is one thing that does wonders with most of them. Most of my friends I've spoken to, and most of the students also that I talk to, so they've always told me listening to music, it is instant gratification that they get, and it is an instant mood enhancer. For me, it works wonders. That particular song, of the movie Sanju, Shreya Ghoshal and Sukhvinder, it is my all-time favorite, and it does wonders with me. It says, "Tere janu ke aage, ambar panahe mange." That kind of a thing, कहने को जर्रा है तू, लोहे का छर्रा है तू. So very, very, I find it very encouraging, and it always does wonders for me. So I'm sure everybody has a different taste in music, and that'll do you good. So listen to the music as and when you can. Practice gratitude. Brilliant thing again. Whatever bounties that you have, if you want abundance, please practice gratitude with folded hands. Be humble. That is, the light of it. Your sleep, if you well, your sleep also does you wonders. If your sleep pattern is disturbed, if you haven't had enough sleep, then also the energy levels obviously go down. Your belief systems, whatever you believe, so it that also it activates and opens a part of your brain which tells you that you can achieve whatever you want. There's so many different strategies. Give whatever you can, in terms of education, in terms of love, compassion, care. Just be a giver. The more you contribute, the more your energy levels will be higher, and you'll feel good about yourself. So be mindful of your body, exercise whenever you can. So whatever little things that have been keeping you away, please try, indulge in them, and life is beautiful. So now I still cannot figure out, I haven't got any messages on the chat box. So I still don't know. What I'll do is I will end the session now.
Hello. Yes, ma'am. Can you listen to me?
Yes, Sudhir, I can.
Perfect. So
I have
there are few
listened.
comments from our viewers, so you can see it on the screen. That like Savarni Banerjee has asked that how one can celebrate life.
See, everybody is Savarni, thank you so much for your question. It's a very pertinent question. Everybody has a different journey towards life. So, you just need to introspect what works best for you. But as far as most of the people, I think gratitude and attitude of gratitude will does wonders for each one of us. And the moment you practice all these, if you're mindful, if you keep yourself motivated, if you can interact with people, if you are compassionate, concerned, and if you have all the love in the world to give, believe you me, life is just wonderful. And there are enough and more reasons to celebrate life. Enough and more reasons. We are all gifted.
And I'm sure
And
this
I'm
is
sure
the
this is
main
the
reason
main reason
everyone gets
everyone
connected
gets
with their
connected with their
loved ones,
loved
and
ones.
they're just
They're
trying
just
to
trying
find
to
the
find
reason
the reason
that
that
what can
what
thrive and
can
how they
thrive and
can
how
go
they can
ahead in
go
their life
ahead in their
despite
life
of all the challenges.
challenges.
And I really
And
like
I
one of
really
the
like
things
one
you
of
have
the things you
mentioned
have
that
mentioned that
we do not
we
have
do
to
not
put
have to put
energy in
energy in
everything.
everything.
Sudhir,
So
I don't, I mean, somehow, for some reason, you're not very audible to me. You're not very clear to me. And I have no idea whether I was audible and whether, people could hear me or not. So, any other questions? Please, I can take up those questions later. If you want, you can please share my mail ID and I can get in touch. Whatever works best for you, please do that. I'm happy to be connected. And otherwise, if you want, I don't mind coming up again. It's a beautiful portal to come and to share my thoughts. So, now before I end this, I will read Mother Teresa's one poem, the poem that is very close to my heart again. So, life is an opportunity, benefit from it. Life is beauty, admire it. Life is a dream, realize it. Life is a challenge, meet it. Life is duty, complete it. Life is a game, play it. Life is a promise, fulfill it. Life is sorrowful at times, so overcome it. Life is a song, sing it. If life is a struggle, accept it. Life is an adventure, dare it. If life is luck, live it to the fullest. So life is too precious. Do not just destroy it. Life is life. So put everything aside and enjoy life as much as you can. Accept whatever comes into your life. And believe you me, the more you accept, the more gratitude that you have, more beautiful your life is going to be. And you will have enough and more reasons to celebrate your life. And life in itself is a beautiful celebration. It's a beautiful journey. Thank you. Sudhir, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for sharing such kind words with our audience. And I'm really sorry, everyone, uh, for the technical interference. And hopefully, we'll get this sorted out in the next session. We have a few queries and few comments. So I'm just popping it up on the screen. Okay, so Dr. Deepika Mahesh Singh Rathore, she is saying that well said, no app. Well said, so apt and relevant in today's context. Savani Banerjee has said that even I had read this poem when I was young by Mother Teresa
Wonderful. Thank you. She wrote this poem when she was in Kolkata.
when she was in Kolkata. So that's a great thing which we have learned today. So thank you so much for sharing such insights. And if time allows, I have a few more questions. And I hope that my voice is now audible a bit.
It's
I'm not
audible.
sure. It's
Thank
audible?
you.
Okay, fine. Finally. So, how to find a purpose in one's life? In this today's world, everyone is distracted by thoughts, distracted by social media and the that high pitch of marketing campaigns. So it is quite hard for the youngsters and even sometimes for people like us in order to find any purpose. As you have mentioned that you do not have to divide your attention. Multitasking is a myth. So, what suggestion you would like to give that how to make concentrated efforts toward one direction, and what if it does not work? How we should decide our next plan of action?
So, Sudhir, one, I would not say never have a plan B, but at the same time, I'll say if you are very, very convinced, if you put in your heart and soul into it, if you're passionate about it, if you put in your 100% into it, believe you me, you will get phenomenal results. You know, what works good for you might not work good for me. Similarly, all of us, we have different experiences, we have different thought process, different ideas, different strengths. The only thing that we need to do is we need to tap into that strength of ours. We need to introspect. We need to have those little chunks, that little doable things that we can manage. So don't overwhelm yourself with too many things at the same time. Small little targets, small little changes, small little efforts, and whatever you do, just put in your 100% into it. Declutter your mind. Think about it, have that clarity. So don't let anything and everything, that enough information which is there at every portal, don't let all that thing bog you down. Have your own perceptions, clarify your thoughts. In case the need be, just sit, meditate, sit with yourself, ask yourself a few questions, introspect. And more than the extrinsic motivation, I feel the intrinsic motivation works in these times. And if you've made up your mind, if you are very, very convinced that you need to pursue that similar thing, then don't give it halfway. Sometimes you don't even realize, you were almost there, and that is the time you just gave in. So please be there. If the ant is trying to carry a little granule of sugar, just see how much of struggle it takes. Try, and try as many number of times till the time you succeed, until the time you're there. That is it.
Very lovely thought, ma'am. And one more thing, Savarni is asking that learning is a task for her and for many of the people, I believe. So where to do, where to start from? A big question. And how should one filter what's good and what's bad?
Okay. So learning is not, when I say learning, I don't mean academic qualification. I don't mean those degrees. Anybody whom you interact with has enough and more to teach you. Every time you're interacting with somebody, every time you're just going through an experience, all these little things are the learnings for life. So learning is just not restricted to your professional enhancement. It is not about the degrees. Of course, when you get the educational qualification, it helps you settle well in the academics. It helps you do very well professionally. It enhances your career growth. But apart from that, learning is just not restricted only to your profession. Learning is that you do day in and day out. The fan on the roof, it is even teaching you to aim high. The stars in the sky, no matter what it is, moon teaches us a beautiful lesson. Every time, it is okay to go through phases. Every time we look at the moon, it's a crescent or it's a half moon. Similarly, our life, it's all a part of a season. Today we are restricted in a lockdown. It is an experience in itself. So every day is a learning for us, provided we are conscious of it and we are utilizing it to the best of our ability. Every situation that we deal with, every experience that we come our way, every individual that we interact with us, on our journey on this planet, everybody has a potential and a capability to teach us something or the other. Savarni, I hope I answered it for you.
Yes, you have beautifully answered that, and it's quite relevant too. And one more thing she is asking from you, that when she and many other people of her age, when they start reading something, they very soon they lose interest. How to keep intact that interest in reading? She is asking that.
Question. You know what? Today we are living in a fact driven world, and we live in the world of instant gratification. And the millennials, I would say the millennials more so, these are the ones who need instant answers for everything. That you have to cajole yourself, you have to comfort yourself, that you have to keep giving those little reward systems. And whenever there's a monotony, just get up, just leave it. So you don't have to be bogged down and overwhelmed by it. But at the same time, if you have little targets for yourself, if you don't get overwhelmed, if you have this little reward system for yourself, so every time you read something new and every time you're able to implement that new thing, reward yourself, treat yourself well, don't treat yourself as an afterthought. So those little gratifications, those little rewards, those little reinforcements, that'll help you, move forward. So little chunks, those baby steps will help you move forward. When every monument that you see today was once a foundation stone. So and today we know them as ivory towers and foundations and buildings and you name a thing. So similarly, for each one of us, it's a little journey that we all have to take. One little step, and believe you me, you can just climb the entire flight of stairs. One little step, you just need to begin. Well, begin is half done. If you're motivated enough, believe you me, you will be able to do wonders with yourself. Expect in miracles, and they will manifest. I hope
Nice.
I've answered that.
यस यस एंड इवन आई बिलीव द सेम दैट किसी भी चीज में अगर आपको लगता है कि आपका कंसंट्रेशन नहीं आ रहा है, सो आई थिंक दैट spend some more time in developing that kind of thing. Same thing happened with the meditation as well. When I initially started it, so I lose interest or concentration after just 1 or 2 minutes. Now I can go up till 15 minutes too. So it's regular practice, something that we need to do on a regular basis. And Dr. Deepika has said again that this is the time for introspection and retrospection. It's the need of an hour.
That is the need of an. That is not the need of the hour. I completely agree with what you have to say. But believe you me, any age and stage, any age group, we all need to introspect. It is intrinsic motivation, your own thoughts, they go a long way in determining the kind of person that we all become. So we all need to introspect, whatever age, stage, caste, creed, color, anything. Introspection goes a long way. And just to sum up, Sudhir, what you just said, whatever we seek is seeking us. So the entire universe conspires to give us whatever we desire and deserve, provided we put our heart and soul into it. If we are convinced that we need to do it, believe you me, sooner than later, you will definitely get it. There's enough and more to get and to be thankful for.
Right, ma'am. Very well said. So, this is for the day, I believe, and we have faced lot many technical issues today. But the session was quite interesting, and we have gained a lot of information from you today. How to celebrate life, how to live life full of abundance, and how to make it more purposeful. So, thank you very much for sharing such wonderful thoughts with us today. So, have a great evening, ma'am, and thank you so much for spending time with us.
To that celebrated life. Thank you so much for having me over on the show. Thank you and good evening, everyone.